Alright, hey everyone, welcome to my channel. We're gonna speak about the ungodly events that happened in the last Power episode. I believe it's season 6 episode. We won't get back to that. Okay, so the episode starts out with Dre and his baby mama. They're in New York, I guess in her apartment, and they're talking, and he's basically telling her, but she's telling him, look, we gotta go, we gotta get the fuck up out of here. What I'm very confused about though is, where did this woman come from? His daughter was in protective custody, he was in protective custody. Was she just chilling at home? Like, she knows his lifestyle, she knows everything. Well, I assume based off of this episode that she knows everything about him, but all of a sudden this baby mama pops up and she's just like, we have to leave, we have to get to safety. It's just not making any sense to me, honestly. But this is Power. I feel like their writing has been a little funny the last 2 seasons. It feels rushed. It feels like even maybe some writers have been switched around. But anyway, so they're in the living room and she's like, you know, we have to get up out of here. It's not safe for us anymore. Too many things is happening. We gotta go. And he's like, I'm about to take over New York. What do you mean? Like, we can't stay here. I'm about to take over. Like, you're tripping. Take over where? Everyone hates you. Everyone wants you dead. Even the cops hate you. You are useless to essentially everyone. So I would most likely get the fuck up out of there if I were you. So, you know, she's just like being resistant. She's like, you know, we have to go. I don't give a fuck about what you're talking about. Whatever you're saying is not making any type of sense. She's like, you know what you gotta do, basically. Like, so the scene changes, and I believe it's, so I may go out of sequence, but essentially we're just gonna talk about everything. But Dre also finds out that Ghost is running for office, and it was in that moment that I guess me personally, I realized that this whole episode is basically like a recant to what leads up to the final shot. So, you know, he finds out that Ghost is running for office. He's pissed. He goes to Saxe. He's telling him, okay, what the fuck? This man is running for office. He's in his mind probably like, this man is unstoppable at this point. Like, if it's not one thing, it's the other. Like, we gotta get him, we gotta X this nigga out. My personal thing is, Dre, why are you even worried about this dude? Listen to your baby mama. Get the fuck up out of there. Mind your business. Just leave. You know, Saxe is telling him, you know, just like, leave me alone. I'll figure it out. Saxe seems like he don't give a fuck about that, but who knows? Who cares? The scene then changes to the detective with the funny voice. She sounds like Kermit or something. I don't know what that cartoon is, but she has a funny voice. I hate it. But she's talking to 2-Bit and his little friend. I forgot his name. I don't know, 2-Bit and his little friend. And the scene is like going back and forth between the two of them, and she's basically interrogating both of them, hitting them with the same tactic. You can clearly see that 2-Bit is used to it. He is using this essentially the same type of tactic that she's using. At every question he answers her questions with a question, or he's like skipping around the question. His friend, on the other hand, is starting to crack, and she gets under his skin basically by telling him, look, you got 2 strikes, most likely this is gonna be your last one, and you're done. Like, that's it for you. When the interrogation finishes, it essentially finishes with 2-Bit being the one to tell her, I'm sorry, I want my lawyer. I don't give a fuck about what you're talking about. I want my lawyer. Shut the fuck up. And his friend is the one that, like, low-key kind of tells her, yeah, if you want any clues, look into this murder. And essentially the murder ties into something dealing with Tommy. So they're locked up. The next thing to happen is Dre is at the warehouse, and he's with his crew. This is also kind of confusing to me because it's been a minute since they've been talking about a crew or anything like that. Where does he even keep finding these niggas from? Like, it was a separate set of people the first time, and then there's a whole nother gang of people this time. I don't know, don't care, but he's introducing, I guess, everybody to each other. And while he's doing that, the Serbians pop up. We haven't seen them in a minute. I'm assuming we could have, I assume they would have popped up. I don't know. It was kind of extra. But yeah, they popped up, and basically it was a big shootout. Dre, the no good nigga that he is, used everyone as a shield, used everyone to get up out of there. They having a shootout. Dre escapes. I'm not gonna lie, his crew and him get a lot of people, knock out a lot of the Serbians. Dre runs out of the warehouse, and for some reason he's limping, but he got shot in the arm. I don't know, maybe he was in shock, maybe he's scared, I don't know, but that was kind of weird to me. He's back at home, and his baby mama's like, you see, nigga, I told you the first time, now you got me fucked up. I'm over here fixing your bandages, fixing all this shit. We gotta go. I'm not listening to anything else you gotta say. Fuck this running, like, we have to go. And on top of we have to go, we have to ask so-and-so for money because we ain't got shit. Which makes no sense to me, because it's like, where has this woman been? You been at home, you ain't been doing shit, you ain't got no job, you ain't putting away no money. It don't take, to me personally, it don't take that long to at least muster up some type of money to leave. But maybe I'm just looking too much into it. It just doesn't make any sense where she came from, and then the fact that they're completely ass out, like no type of money whatsoever. I feel like even a good 5 G's would have gotten them out the damn state. Anyway, so she's like telling him, and she's just like, look, 12 more inches and it could have hit your heart. Sweetie, that was a foot. It's not like he got shot close to his heart. Calm the fuck down. But I get what you're saying. She's like, now we gotta go. We got no money. You know who you gotta talk to. He's like, I ain't gonna talk to her. I'm not doing that. Okay, we find out the person that he had to talk to actually was his mom. He rolls up on her, and he's just laying it on her thick. Oh, mama, I'm so sorry. I ain't been around. I'm so sorry. I've been a bad person. I'm not this. I'm not that. I ain't shit. I know I ain't shit, but I'm trying to turn my life back around. I need your help. I need to escape town. Me, my family, my daughter. Da 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 da. And she's listening, and she's like, daughter? Daughter where? Daughter who? You ain't never told me you had no daughter. So as far as I'm concerned, you're lying. I don't care. I ain't helping you. Fuck all that. The scene then changes to, I believe, them being, hold on, people, because it was all over the place, personally. Okay, so Dre is starting to get desperate. He can't get money from his mom. Now he's like, where else can I get money from? So he's like going to everyone, basically threatening them and telling them, look, either you get the money or either you help me out or I'm a snitch. Because honestly, that's all he's good for. He goes to, I think it was either Tasha or Tariq first. Regardless, he goes to Tasha. He tells her, look, I need money. I need to get the fuck. If you don't help me, I'm gonna snitch. And she's just like, my nigga, ain't shit going on here anyway. Like, you snitching is not gonna help me, or it's not gonna help you. He then goes to Tariq, and he's just like, look, I helped you do something, so you need to help me out. And you need to let me speak to your father. Tariq is like, that's not really gonna happen, but whatever, I'll try to make it happen. Then the scene goes into what we saw last episode before the long break of the conversation between him and Ghost. What kind of stood out to me, in the scene was, again, this is a reenactment of everything that happened before the final shot, but the conversations were not exactly the same as the last episode. Even though it was a reenactment, like the conversation that he had with Ghost, last time I checked, it wasn't the same conversation that it didn't seem like it was like the same exact conversation that they had. It seemed like it was like more like stuff added in, which was kind of weird to me. I don't know if any of you guys noticed that. Let me know if I'm tripping, but it didn't seem like it was the same conversation. But oh yeah, before he even met with Ghost, him and Tariq were talking, and Tariq said, "I need a gun." He's like, "What you need a gun for?" And he was like, "Don't worry about it, mind your business." Again, I think that was a slight foreshadowing or something to like throw us off a little bit, because again, we're trying to see who's the final person that shot him. So, you know, they're talking. Ghost is basically like, "You're a bitch. I'm not really trying to help you." And we saw that essentially he acted like he was going to help him and then got him locked up. When he got locked up, and Two Bit and them was in there. When Two Bit and them was in there, they were putting two and two together, and essentially they were like, "Dre's the reason that we're here, so we need to get off this nigga." In addition to that, Dre did call Two Bit and told him, like, "Look, you know that you're in there for a while, but while you're in there, I can make sure that your family's taken care of, because it doesn't make any sense that you gonna be locked down and your family about to be struggling too. So if you can kill this dude, I got you." He was like, "All right." We already knew he was gonna say all right anyway. He can't stand the nigga. He was been supposed to kill him. So they're in the jail, and Two Bit has someone coming towards him, and sneaks off like a shank to him. The other dude is standing by like the guard door, and that scene was kind of weird to me, because in my mind I'm like, if you really wanted to kill this dude, y'all would have done it a little bit more sneaky. Like, y'all basically showed him what y'all about to do. I don't know if it was to build some type of climax or something, but it didn't make any sense to me. I feel like it should have been a sneak attack. I feel like he shouldn't have seen it coming. Yeah, it just didn't make any sense to me. Again, y'all let me know if that was kind of stupid. If y'all really want to, I guess it's just for the writing purposes. I guess the episode would have ended a little too early for that. So right when they're about to like close in on him, Dre gets up and talks to some random dude in the jail to like distract the situation. The guard calls him, and he goes to the back to talk to, again, annoying voice, cop, detective lady. And they're talking, and again, this is another reenactment to what happened last episode, when basically she was trying to make this investigation with Silver stick. So she was basically like, "Look, ain't nothing I can do for you. Basically, you used out. You snitched so damn much. It ain't really helped you. It ain't really doing anything. So unless you can tell me that you saw Ghost do something, or unless you can help me with this murder against Silver and Ghost, like, ain't nothing. You ain't no help to me." And of course, again, this nigga, "Oh yeah, I saw him. He did that shit." Just like 50 Cent. "Yeah, he did that shit. He guilty as fuck." So they agree that, you know, he's gonna get on the stand and basically, again, does what he does best and snitch on Ghost. And he tells her to hurry up the process, again, because if he goes back in jail, he's good as dead. He gets released, and they're driving away. The protective custody is driving him back to, I guess, a safe house. And while he's there, you can see him in the backseat plotting, and he's like, I have to piss. And again, watching it, you can already tell that, all right, this dude is about to escape. Like, he is definitely about to get away. He's like a roach. Like, I wanted to say he was like a cat, but like, he's literally like a roach. You can't get rid of him. He's like, yeah, I gotta piss, you know, and they're looking at each other, and they're like, okay, they give in. Again, this is so unrealistic, because I know cops that'll be like, all right, well, piss in the backseat, and you get your ass whooped for pissing in the backseat. They pull over, of course, under an underpass. He gets out with the dude. He like bullshit talks him, and then he runs off. And he runs off to his mother's house. At first I was like, is he about to just randomly rob somebody? But it's just, again, it's very weird. I guess he knew where he was at. He escaped and he got to his mama house. He goes upstairs and he's like going through her things. I guess, you know, plotting to steal. He doesn't have any money. He doesn't have a plan at this point. So at this point, he's just like, look, this is my last option. While he's stealing from her, she is standing behind him with a gun. And she just like, you know what? You ain't shit. I knew you wasn't shit. And you stealing from me. What did I do to deserve somebody like you? And this, to me personally, was like the best scene out of the whole episode. Was him talking to his mom. Shit got real right here. And basically he was telling her, like, if I ain't shit, it's because of you. Like, I am a product of what the environment you created. And he was just like, you know, I was a little boy and you acted like you hated me so much. I did what little kids do. I was devious, you know, I did little devious things, but I didn't know any better. I took a candy bar. And let's be real, like, kids, they take stuff, they're not in their right mind, they don't know, some of them, I'm not gonna excuse all of them, but basically it was all out of innocence. I wasn't doing it because I'm a bad person. I'm doing it because I'm doing it. I'm a kid. And you called me a devil, you told me you hate, you know, like, he was basically telling her that, like, I am what you made me, so you hate me, you low-key hate yourself. And I didn't deserve that. And he was just like, you know, the reason why you haven't met my daughter is because I don't want this toxic energy onto her. I don't want you to turn her into the person that I became. And while he was doing that, like, somehow, like, he knocked the gun out of her hand and then turned it back on her. And for a split second, I really thought he was about to shoot this lady, because he is ruthless. Like, there were so many times where I thought maybe he wasn't gonna do something. He has killed people, like, with no second guessing, no breath taken, no blink of an eye. He was just like, all right, whatever. He is off people for less. But, you know, I guess it's his mother, and that's just like a touchy subject, because you can see he was fighting hard with his demons when he was talking to her. Anyway, he basically threw her religion back in her face, and he was just like, you know what, like, it's the Christian thing to do for me to let your ass live, so I'm gonna take this jewelry and I'm out. He gets back in the car with his baby mother, and he's riding out, and you can tell, like, he is like internalizing everything that just happened to him. He's over it. He's trying to stay strong. She's looking at him like, what's the matter with you, and are you okay? And and he's just like, look, this is all I can take. They're going, and they go to Tate's office. That was supposedly the last stop that they were supposed to go before they were supposed to be on the run. Tate is like, I got all this money, and I know you need it. I need you to kill Ghost. They're going back and forth. Drea's like, look, I was gonna do it for free anyway. I don't like that nigga. They get back in the car, and he's like, we gotta make one more stop. But his baby mama like, and at this point, honestly, as a baby mom, I would have been like, look, you go do what you gotta do. Give me the money. I'm taking my baby. We going to Vegas. We going wherever we need to go. Cause you planned. We supposed to been left since this morning. It's tonight. We have to go. You playing too much. I would have just taken my daughter and left. But as you can see, the bitch don't really care, because I don't understand how you was going to do all of this. He was going to do all of this, the baby in and out of the system. And where the hell were you? So she's stupid too. Anyway, and it's something really weird with her. Like, I don't know if that's just her face, but she had like a devious look about her. Like, every time he talked, she looked like, and I was just like, okay, girl, but maybe that's just her face. It just seemed like she was always, like, she was ready to turn on his ass. But, you know, he's like, I gotta do one more thing. And she was like, you don't have to do nothing. Like, he can't snitch on you because he's helping us. So he would be snitching on himself, which is true. So let's just go. For 1 minute, they're driving. He's like, yeah, well, I guess, you know, we might as well go. He turns around to actually go do it. I guess in his mind, he probably thought that if he doesn't kill this dude, he's gonna be after him. But I personally think that Ghost does not give two fucks about him. So even if he did decide to be on the run, he would have been fine. What then happens is he gets to the club, he loading up his gun, and right as he's about to like hit the corner, in truth, he hears a shot and a thud, like a drop, a body drop. He's stuck, like he's just like, oh my god. And that's so weird to me because based on Dre's character, he looks scared, and based on his character, he doesn't seem like a scary person. And it's like I would have thought he would have went and checked or something. Like a gunshot scaring him and then running, like it just seemed weird. Again, maybe it's just me. Y'all let me know in the comments what y'all think. He then runs out. As he's running out, Detective Annoying Voice is running in, and she's like, Dre? He knocks her out. After he knocks her out, he runs in the car, and now he's really trying to get away. And baby mama's kirking off on him. I told your ass we should have left. You don't listen to me. Now we this, now we that. He's at a light. They're arguing. He looks to his left, and it's Tommy. And I don't know if they were implying it to be like him seeing things, but I think he really did see Tommy. And then like a long bus rides past, and he disappears. So in so I'm concluding that, okay, it's not Dre that shot him, it wasn't the detective that shot him, and it wasn't Tommy. So it still leaves, again, Tasha, Tariq, Tate maybe? Because Tate was walking towards something in the last season, unless it was just not Tate. But again, I don't know. Let me know what y'all think. They're arguing or whatever, and he's like, all right, we're leaving now. Like, shut the fuck up. He leaves. They stop at a gas station. He grabs some chips and a teddy bear. He's paying for his shit, and on the screen it says Ghost is dead. It's announcing it. So this nigga is all types of happy, just like he's just happy as hell. And he literally walked out the gas station with a pep in his step, like, hey fam, smiling, everybody smile. Oh hey, what's up? Yeah. And as he's walking, the scene starts slowing down, like everything's like in slow motion. Again, the writing or the directing, I don't know which one, is kind of predictable. And the only reason why I say that is because it's like, based on how certain things are happening, it's kind of like you know what's about to happen next. The minute the scene started, this scene start moving in slow motion, again, my first thought is he about to get shot, or again, he about to get locked up. And what happens? He gets locked up in front of his daughter. Baby mama like, I took run, you know, and he gets locked up. He's in jail. His mom comes to see him, and his mom is just like, I'm gonna take care of them. And he's like, Ma, I need, like, please don't leave me in here. I'm gonna die in here. You don't understand. Like, this is my last chance. I gotta get out of here. She's like, I'll take care of them. You be okay. And she turns to the daughter, and she's like, tell your daddy bye. Bye, Dre. That alone lets you know she ain't helping him. You right where you belong. After that, it's kind of like that was like, I guess, his kiss of death. So he's back in jail. Two Bit them is back in jail. They see him and they're just like, oh, well, the mighty have fallen. So he's back in jail. He's like thinking fast. So he starts a fight in order to get himself in solitary confinement. He's in solitary confinement. Somebody starts like pushing wet towels into his cell. He's like, yo, who is it? It's Two Bit and his friend. And they're like, well, hey, hello, motherfucker. Remember us? And essentially, you know, they have their little conversation. Of course, Dre is like, please don't kill me. I have a daughter. And they're just like, okay. Anyway, so you're dead, where you belong. And they set him on fire and he dies. He burns in hell. And that's essentially the end of the episode. No, it's not. Then, after that happens, it's the next day. Two Bit is in jail. He comes out of his cell. He goes to go see his friend. His friend is gone. And the other jail the other person in jail is like, oh, I guess he got a better lawyer than you. And he's just like, better lawyer my ass. He gets his on his jail phone and he calls Tommy and he's just like, look, you're in trouble, and the reason why you're in trouble is because that person's not here anymore. Put two and two together. His friend snitched. And then when his friend is talking to Detective Annoying Voice, he's just like, yeah, you ain't gonna get that nigga to talk. Like, that's a real nigga right there. And she's like, so what are you? And he's like, oh, I'm free. You thought. That's the end of the episode. Honestly, it was a good episode for what it was. I personally did not see Dre's death coming when I thought of the episode. Like, I wasn't worried about him anymore. Let me recant that. I saw his death coming, but I wasn't worried about him anymore. I think my focus was more on who shot Ghost. Yeah, I wasn't worried about him anymore. Like, I was actually coming to terms with this dude is always going to get away with murder. But again, with the writing and everything that goes on in this show, they kind of foreshadow who is about to die before each episode, because most of the episodes that a person dies in, it's like solely on them. Like right before Angela died, they were like showing her whole entire day, all her conversations, everything was about her. Same thing with Ghost, his interactions with everybody, him feeling himself, him this, him that, his success, his everything. So it's kind of like they foreshadow, like the writing is just weird. Like it's a little lazy, it's a little predictable, and I do think the person that shoots him is the person we least expect. I personally think it's Ramona. Reason being, one, they keep popping her up in the previews for different stuff. They never show where she was at the end of the episode. They show where everybody is walking toward. They never show her. They never show her go back to the hotel. So who's to even say she was at the hotel? Her past is shady as hell, and she doesn't. I just think it's her. Let me know what y'all think in the video. Let me know what y'all think in the comments. I'm gonna try to come back with better reviews. This is my first, but I really want to review the show, and I feel like a lot is more to come with the Power franchise in itself. I did see 50 working on other stuff, and I do think it's worth reviewing. I still think it's a good show. I just think the writing got a little lazy, but I think that like with the second franchise of Power, it's gonna get back good again. All right, you guys, please subscribe. Please click your notification button. Please let me know what y'all think. What are your theories? I want to read them. I want to know what y'all think. Let me know. Love you guys. Bye.